greatest innovations in human history have come from democratic nations. And that is because freedom has been given to them, has been given to the spirits of men to express themselves. This freedom is not just the ability to criticize, but the ability now to innovate. No government council decided that it was time to move from horses and chariots to automobiles. A man dreamed that. No government committee said, let us move into the internet as a way of communicating, and let us start sending letters by email rather than by post. It was a man that dreamt that. It was the Warner Brothers that said, let us fly in planes one day on our way and use those planes as means of transporting ourselves. It was Steve Jobs that changed the way we listen to music. These were not government ideas, but these were people ideas. So democracy at its root is the freedom that is given to the individual spirit to dream, and then to create his environment, and then for the government to catch up with the dreams of those individuals later on with legislation. Let us not forget what the scripture says. To him that has, more shall be given. But to him that says, I have not, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. He that says, I have not, I need help. That which he has, others that know how to recognize opportunities will take what he has from him. Development has always come from finding capital in places people once overlooked and drawing resources out of those things. At the platform Abuja today, we seek to examine a few areas where capital lies, but in dead form, and to seek to awaken the consciousness and the hearts of people in this nation to produce surplus from within. We have speakers who have proven this in this environment, and they have translated ideas into entities with commercial value. Therefore, I close by saying, welcome to the platform Abuja, and may God bless you all.
Hello. Once again, let's give a round of applause to the senior pastor of the Covenant Christian Center and convener of the platform. Yet again, without wasting much time, let's introduce one of the speakers for today's event. He is no other person than Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. Mr. Taiwo Oyedele is the author of the book titled Insights on Taxation and Fiscal Policy. He is the head of Tax and Regulatory Services of the PwC Nigeria, and also the West African Market Tax Leader. He is a thought leader and prominent speaker on key economic, accounting, and tax issues. He's an ardent advocate of tax reforms, with particular emphasis on tax simplification and transparency. Mr. Oyedele is a contributor to the annual Doing Business reports of the World Bank, which helps improve the ease of doing business in over 180 countries worldwide. He also runs a blog on tax matters with thousands of followers from over 20 countries. Taiwo Oyedele is the founder and president of Impact Africa Foundation, a non-profit organization established to support the education of less privileged children across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Taiwo Oyedele will be speaking on Nigeria Beyond Oil, the crude reality. Please join me and welcome to the platform, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here today, and more importantly, to be talking about an issue I consider to be extremely important to our nation at this time. 16 years ago, the former oil minister of Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Ahmed Yamani, said that the Stone Age did not end for lack of stone, and the oil age will come to an end long before the world runs out of oil. If you fast forward 16 years later, that is coming now closer to reality than ever before. Today, our nation faces significant challenges because we have relied too much and for too long on crude oil. We are unable to take care of our people. 180 million people, we cannot cater for them. So this requires that we look inwards and say, what can we do differently? I've heard our leader say to us that we have moved away from oil, but I disagree. I have the view that it is not that we have moved away from oil, it is oil that has moved away from us. Because if indeed we moved away from oil, then we should have been able to replace the revenue we used to get from oil from other sources. We talk about diversification every now and then, but we're not taking concrete steps as to exactly what should we be doing. Do we have a blueprint? Are we measuring progress? And how far have we come? These things are missing. And you find these issues in every sector, in every area of our endeavors. You see our leaders sometimes tell us simple things like the airport. And we say because we fixed 2 toilets and 1 belt, we say, well, nobody has ever done this before. So this must be dividend of democracy. And we're expected to clap and celebrate them just because nobody has done it before. And I asked myself a simple question. Was that what Dubai did, for example? Why don't we set a target and say, put our international airports in the top 100 in the world. And then when you do get there, you come and tell me about it. People don't become top airports in the world. Where, for example, you come out of the international airport in Lagos and common decorum, simple logistics of just saying to drivers, please queue up. What you see is you see loads of people. If it's your first time to Nigeria, it's very scary, especially when you're looking for foreign investments. And then you look a few meters away and you see armed soldiers and policemen, AK-47 or whatever it is. That's not what you see in a sane society. My point is we have to think about how we run this economy in small things as we do in big issues. Today we say that our budget for the first time in a few years has about 30% capital expenditure. We're also supposed to clap and celebrate that. But I have a different view as well. We're told that even the cars they bought for the National Assembly, one of the senators said, after all, this is part of capital expenditure. Which is why I think, he wasn't really telling a lie, he just wasn't saying the complete truth. We should be focusing on productive capital expenditure. It must be that we are building roads, rails, hospitals, building the education system, and so on and so forth. We know that the price of crude oil has declined from over $110 in June 2014. And even February this year, it was low as $28 per barrel. we should not hope and expect that very soon we will recover again and oil will go back to